All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a Roblox video. Someone was asking me about. They wanted to make a truck that can hook up to multiple trailers. So I don't actually have a truck that can hook up to multiple trailers. I just have the one truck. So what we're going to do is we are going to try to see if we can get this truck to hook up, all right, to multiple trailers. So now I have two trailers here. I should probably make this trailer its own trailer. All right, so the other thing too, it's going to be a little difficult because I'll have to reprogram the lights in the trailer. Right now, the only reason you can hook up to one trailer is so that way the truck and the trailer can talk to each other with the lights and everything else. If we separate the two, then technically they're two separate vehicles, and it means I have to find a different way to talk to the trailer, which I don't really know how to do that yet. So how they do it in like those other games where they allow you to spawn these different trailers, what it does is it just has a part here, and when the two parts touch, that's when you can hook up to the other trailer. So, well, anyways, yeah, we'll have to figure it out. We'll have to figure out with the lights. So that's what we're going to do. So the first thing I want to do is go into the UI that we have. All right, this here, and then I'm just going to copy it, and we're going to paste it into the starter UI. All right, and what we need to do is we need to add a button to it. So we're going to make the frame bigger, and then we're going to add a text button. Insert object, text button. For the purpose of this video, I'm not going to, I don't know what I'm going to do. Insert object, UI. It's not going to be, this button isn't going to be fancy. It's just going to be a button. So it'll be up to you, the individual, to change it however you want, right? So we'll just call this button trailer, all right? If you're wondering how to make the UI and how to get it and all that, if you go through my previous videos, I explain that in great detail, how to make it function and how to make it work and that. So we're going to rename this to trailer. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want this button to become visible when this trailer, when this part here, what's going on here? Oh, I hate Studio sometimes. All right, when this, so let's get rid of this. What's going on here? Okay, let's get rid of that. And oh, that's an AA. All right, and we're going to get rid of the rod constraint. All right, so now we just have this part. Inside the part, we have this fancy script, which, oh, it was the fancy script that allows you to connect the trailer. Okay, well, I was going to do that with a button, but we could do it this way too. So inside, it's been a while since I've taken a look at this. So inside the part, I have a proximity prompt. So we're going to scratch this button for now. Yeah, we're going to scratch this button for now. Once we get this working, then we'll add the UI button. All right? So what we need to do is in the hitch is we need to find this part here. All right, let's see. So now what I've done is I'll go back to Blue Trucking City, and we need the hit function, right? Script.parent.touched connect function hit. So that's the first thing we want to add into our script, right? See, right now it's activated. Here, let's insert object. Script. Let's get a new script in there. This will be, let's rename this trailer prompt a, and then whatever. We'll just we'll disable that script. All right, so in here we want this function. Okay, we're gonna do two things. So how the function works, it says if hit.parent.name equals, right? And then we also have a string value in there. All right, and then there's a stopper, but I don't think we need the stopper. Just saying if there's no stopper, then it don't return anything. I keep tabbing back and forth, and every time I tab out, I have to hit the selection tool again. All right, so we're going to name this. Let's see, if hit.parent.name equals, and then this will be our what trailer is this one here? It's got the reefer on it, so we'll just say reefer, and if hit.parent.handle.key. So this is actually SS. Is it SS? Let's take appliance. Okay, we're going to rename this to reefer. All right. So, and then what we want to do, we want to say if hit.parent.key, right? So inside here, we're going to go insert object, and we want to insert a string value. Okay, and we want to rename that to key, and then we want the value to be, in here it's just yum, so we'll set the value of this to yum. All right, and that way it won't activate until these two parts are connected. Then, all right, and then after that, this is where we'll put in our code. So the other thing that we're going to need to do as well is, let's see if I do have a third part here. So this is can collide. So let's scale this up. So what we want to do is we don't want the hitch, right? We don't want the hitch to go further than that. We could even stop it there, right? This part eventually will make invisible, but it's just a collidable part. And then that way, when we're backing up to the trailer, once we hit this part, it'll stop, right? The other thing too is we could make this part, we're also going to make this part wider. Let's make it all the way across, actually. And then that way we have plenty of contact area, okay? Now, inside here, we have an attachment. We're going to rename this attachment. We're going to rename it to, I'm just going to turn this down just a little bit. Okay, we are going to rename this to, well, we need 3 constraints. So this will be our, and not a hinge constraint. What am I looking for here? View, model, a rod constraint. So we can rename this one rod. And right, and then we can duplicate that, and we can move this one here. Oh no, what did I do here? Rod, it didn't duplicate. Duplicate. All right, then we'll take that. That one there. Oh, you know why? Because I'll turn on constraint details. What's that one there? Ball mesh. Oh, that must have been the old one that I had. Okay, well, I'll end up getting rid of that. Yeah, so we need 3 constraints here. So we have rod, and this one here we're going to say air A, and then here we'll duplicate that, and that'll go there, and we can rename this one to air B. All right. Okay, and now the next thing we want to do is, here we're going to delete that attachment, and we'll delete that attachment, and we'll delete that attachment. Probably delete the other attachments. I don't know what they do. All right, so inside this part, inside the reefer part, we're going to insert object. We're going to insert an attachment. All right, and then this is what we're going to be connecting the trailer to. So this one here, we can rename this one, just like we did the other one, right? We can rename that one rod. And then we'll duplicate it, duplicate and duplicate. We'll take this one. We'll rename this one air A, and we'll rename this one air B. It doesn't matter where they are because we can move, right? We can always move these constraints wherever we want them. This is going to be our strings, not our strings, our cables, whatever they are, our air cables. So what I was doing is I was using a spring, what's it called? I don't know what it's called. I've been out of Roblox for a little while. It's called a spring constraint, yes. And then we'll have to set the colors and we'll have to get all that stuff. Okay, so now we can go back to our part here. All right, we can go back to our script. And then it will say if key.value is equal to yum, then. Okay, then what we need to do is we need to say this is where it kind of gets sketchy. We need to create a new motor. I don't know what SS was, just a part. Let's see. Script.parent.sw, script.sw.parent. Right, so we need this instant.new, see it says motor, right? So in here we need to say instance dot new, and then we want it to be a rod constraint. You see that? Instance.new rod constraint. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to set the properties. So we need a variable. So we can say instance.new. So we could say local rods, because we already have rod in there, right? We want to do that one. Instance.new rod constraint. And then what did they do? Script.parent.parent.miss.sw show and explore. Oh yeah, SW dot SS. SS must be the where the motor is. Okay, so we have to name where the motor is. So we'll have to, I think. I'm just looking at the script and I'm trying to see how they've done that. Okay, so then what we want to do is we could say script.parent. All right. And that might work. I don't know why it's script.parent show and explore. Script.parent, we could say .parent.aa maybe. What's it saying? End to close at line 5. Oh, I see. It's just telling me, it's just giving me an error here, really? Yeah, there we go. That's all it's saying. Okay. So we could say script.parent to parent.aa, and then we'll say rods dot, and then now we need to add the properties of the rod constraint. So let's go to model, and let's just create a rod constraint just so we can look at the properties of it. Here, I'll just so I can, this is just so I can delete it, that's all. So we're looking at the rod constraint. And what we need is attachment 0, attachment 1, and a length, which I think is what they have here. Yeah. So we need to say rods dot length equals 0.02, whatever. There's a limit, right? Whatever the let's find out right now. There's a minimum limit on this on the rod. If you say 0, yeah, it's 0.2 is the minimum. So we'll say 0.2, right? And then we want it to be really close. And then we'll say rods dot and then there's, I'm just going to skip these commercials because, like I say, we keep getting hit for copyright. Let's see. Not like copyright's a big deal. It's just that, you know, the video explodes and I suddenly get 1 million views. So you have attachment 0 and attachment 1. Right? So we'll say rods.att attachment 0 equals, and we'll say script. No, we want to say script dot parent, and we want to say dot rod. Okay, and then we want to say rods dot attachment 1 equals hit dot parent. And then what did we name it? What did we name it in here? Dot rod. Hit dot parent dot rod. All right, now that in theory should be all we need to do. As soon as it connects, it'll create that attachment. So let's test it out here. Because it's supposed to create it on hit. Now what we'll do is we'll change it over to a proximity prompt. All right, so that didn't work. Why is that? First off, let's make that smaller so we can actually get under the truck and see what's happening. Maybe this isn't making complete contact with the rod. This one here is oops. You can collide false on it. You can touch it and but it's can collide false, so it could be really big. It could extend into the wheels. It's just so we make sure we make contact. So if hit.parent.name is equal to reefer, R-E-E-F-E-R. Oh no, see, I spelt it wrong. I only spelt it with 1 E instead of 2. All right, let's try that. So if this works, that's how you do it. And then you just have a button that that just destroys the attachment, and away you go. That was actually kind of really. All right, so let's try a couple of things here. So that didn't work. Why not? Hit.parent.name. Oh, no, that was right. R-E-F-E-R. So hit.parent.name. I would expect it to give me an error, but it's not actually doing anything. And then hit.parent.key. So hit. Oh, you know what? It's probably just hit.key, I bet, because the key is inside. Let's try that. Right, so what we're doing is we're detecting when the part's hit. And when the parts hit each other, then we're saying, okay, when they hit each other, if this part has this key in it, which is just a string value, you can name it anything, then create the attachment. Which it's not doing for some reason. All right. So what's going on? It's my code here. Hit.parent.name. No, we'll just say hit.name. If hit.name is equal to refer, and then hit.key, key.value, maybe that's what I got. I'm surprised. It should give me an error saying the parent of the part. So I'm a little worried here. But like I say, I haven't done this yet. So if it turns out to be really a painful process, that's why I haven't actually done this. Oh, there we go. Rod is not a valid member of workspace.trailer.model. ROD. ROD is there. Rod is not a workspace trailer.model. Oh, I see. It's looking for in there. Okay. So hit.parent. No, I should just say hit.rod. Right? And then this should be, that's right. Okay, let's see if that works. Hey, well, we got them to talk. That's the most important thing. Once you can get the two parts to talk to each other and you start getting errors, then at least you know you're on the right track. And then from there, it's just a matter of figuring out what the errors are. And, all right, let's see. Oh, it worked. It worked. Yes. Awesome. Whoa, then something happened. Okay, wait. Then something happened. Hold on. Oh, you know why? You know why? Because, okay, so now what we need to do is we need to slow that down because now it's every single time it hits it, it's trying to create the rod, and that's what happens. So if we tell this to wait, right? If we say wait, I don't know, I would say wait 2 seconds, right? And then it'll do this. And then what I would do is I would say, after it does that, then I would say script dot enabled equals false, right? It's really easy. And then what you can do is have a prompt inside here, or have a button that allows you to reverse that. What it'll do is it'll say when you want to get rid of it, it just finds this rod, right? So you could say this script here, for example, and then you could say script.parent.proximity prompt. Once it's triggered, if click equals true, then you could say script.parent.rod destroy, and it'll destroy this rod until this script has been activated again. And the only way to activate the script will be a button, a trailer button on the UI. So that's a lot of information. Let's get through what we did. Okay. So we created a script, right? And in the script, we created sort of like a safety saying that the object we need to hit has to have this name. Okay. Now you can change this. You can add multiple functions to this script. You can say if hit name equals refer. You could say or, okay? And then in here you can add another name, right? Like low bed. You could say or whatever. And then this is how you list all your trailers, right? Or it's gonna hit me. It's gonna hit me for another. You could say or whatever, right? High bed. Let's say or tractor. Okay. And this is how you list all the trailers. So anytime it comes into contact with one of those trailers, it'll create that rod constraint. Now, if you don't want it to create the rod constraint, you can say, you can do anything at this point. Anything at this point. Before we create the rod constraint, you can put in the code here that this button script.parent.parent trailer UI oh, I got to take this call. Thanks for watching, and actually, here, let's see, I'll just mute it for All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Had about 5 o'clock in the morning. There was somebody trying to smash the windows in the building across the street. So that's just the owner of the building. I called them and I said, "Hey, it's cold out. You know, is somebody going to show up to at least close the windows off for the other tenants?" So she's been pretty good about it. Oh, nice. Okay, I keep getting all these invites to play games. Mondays are Roblox day. So where were we? Yes. So we've done it. We've created a script which allows us to create a rod constraint inside the object every time we come into contact with one of these. Now, as I was saying, if we want to change this script.parent.touched connect function, all we have to do is change this part here. We can change it from touched to the proximity prompt, right? So we could say script dot parent. We could say, and what I like to do is I'll say local prompt, right, equals, we'll say script dot parent dot proximity prompt. Then we can say prompt down here. We don't need all this. We can say prompt dot, we'll say trigger ended. And this will do the exact same thing, only they'll have to wait until the proximity prompt has been triggered. And we'll say connect trailer. And now what we can also do is inside the proximity prompt, we can insert a script. All right, and we could say, oh, actually that won't work because, I was gonna say to make it enabled or to enable or disable the trailer, but at this point in time, what we can do is we can actually create a button. Oh, you know what we'll do here? I'll do this. So we'll disable the proximity prompt. We'll make it where enabled is already false. Then we'll say prompt, okay, dot enabled equals true. And then what we can do is we can have the proximity prompt down here. Let's say prompt dot trigger ended, right? We'll say connect function. And then we'll say, let's see, script dot parent. Where do we create the rod? Dot, we'll just say rod constraint. TRAINT. And we can say destroy, DESTROY, right? So when it connects, it'll enable the prompt. Is that right? What's it saying? Oh, whoops, connect function. What's it saying here? Call arguments after connect function script parent rod constraint. What's going on? Why is it telling me this? Expected function call arguments. Do I need to turn this to if script parent dot rod constraint equals true, then script dot parent dot rod con rod constraint. Oops, maybe I gotta do that. Is equal to true then. Yeah, all right, let's try that. No errors. No errors so far. Okay, so when we back up, now this isn't tied to the activation of the truck, but eventually I'll tie it to the activation of the truck. So if we go back here, we see there's no prompt. When I get close to it, there's no prompt. So we'll activate the truck. We'll unlock the truck. We'll unlock the truck. Get inside. We'll reverse. Park it. All right. Now, should key is not a valid member of player. Oh. It's trying to do two things at once. Right, because it disables the script. So we'll actually need to put this into a separate script. So let's take this, let's cut this out of here, and let's put this into, I'm just going to insert another script for now. Okay, this one here will be unhook trailer. Oops, unhook. T-R-A-I-L. Let's see, spell trailer this morning. All right, so unhook trailer. We'll put that in there, and then we need the local for the prompt. Local. Oh boy, these commercials are really getting frustrated. Sometimes when you skip halfway through the stream, you don't get all these commercials. I hate it because they distract me. I'll be talking, and then all of a sudden a commercial will go on. equals, let's say, a script dot parent dot proximity prompt. So we'll actually need two. Let's rename this to trailer on, and then let's duplicate this, and let's rename this to trailer off. Okay, and then here, let's change. I just don't like take the spaces in there, and then this one here will be detached trailer. All right. And then unhook trailer. This will be prompt script of parent dot script of parent dot trailer off. And this one will be prompt script dot parent dot trailer on. All right, and then it'll disable that, and then we'll say script. Oh no, we'll say prompt dot enabled equals false. All right, and then we also want to do a wait command in here. 1 second. It just that way the code doesn't trigger right away. Right, so it's active. And then probably what we'll need to do is we'll have to. All right, let's just try this first. Unlock. Insert object. I need another proximity prompt because in the code I'm telling it to make this prompt. We'll just do that. Doesn't have to be active. It just detects that it's there. Because yeah, that's how I had it set up. I thought I had it set up, but apparently it didn't work. So we'll say unlock. We'll unlock it. We'll get in there. All right. We'll back up. All right. So now, oh boy, I'm gonna do require line of sight because they're inside. Requires line of sight. Trailer off. Requires line of sight. See, I should have done this, figured it out. Usually that's what I do, and then I'll make a video. It can be a little hard to follow sometimes when I can be a little bit of a scatterbrain all over the place when it comes to programming and stuff. Oh yeah. So why isn't it? Trailer on shouldn't be. Oh, you know what we'll do for this one here? We'll say requires line of sight, and then that way. All right. It shouldn't come off. This one isn't enabled. Let's take off requires line of sight. That's what we don't want. Trailer on requires line of sight. This one requires line of sight, but we'll just do that. If you have a prompt that's within an object, if you say requires line of sight, best thing to do is to put that prompt inside an attachment and bring that attachment to the edge of the object, because you can't see through walls, right? You couldn't see into a box. And that's the whole idea behind requires line of sight. All right, get in there. So I should be able to. No. For some reason. Prompt. Yeah. Should enable trailer on. What did I do here? Let's turn that to 20 maybe. bringing up this one here. Oh, I'll have to go in the, not the controller. Let's disable that here. Just, it's confusing. Door open. Front hood, handle, cab, AA. There it is, right there. And there it is. So in here we have door lock open, door lock closed. Same thing. I would have to add lots of variables, right? These are all the proximity prompts that are in the vehicle. There's a lot of them. I was doing that because when I designed my game, I wanted all players to play it, and I realized that I needed to script console controls. So rather than, because you're limited to the amount of console controls, I just figured, you know what? The easiest thing to do. Yeah, see, now it's not working. I don't know why. I wonder. Yeah, it's supposed to just enable the prompt. Prompt dot enabled equals true. Script apparent a trailer on. Oh, you know why? I'm telling it to make the prompt false again. Right? So what we're saying is that I'm going to have to change this here. Because we're saying when you activate the prompt, then it triggers this. But we don't want that. This has to be, it has to fire when they connect. It has to fire when they connect. So we need this. If hit.name is what we need to name that here. It's for this one here. Is that what I said? Hit.name. Oh yeah, script.parent.touched connect function. So we need this here, script.parent. Right. Script.parent.touched connect function hit. That's what we want it to do. Then it will enable the prompt. Well, I guess we don't need that because we don't need this part. Okay, we don't need this part. So what we're going to do is what I was saying. We need to add another script. We need to add an additional script into here. So we'll go insert object, script. We probably don't need to. There's probably a way. I could probably do this with a remote function and all that stuff. But it's the easiest thing to do is just create another script. And then we'll say, we'll just tell it to wait, obviously. I like doing that. Just 1 second. And then we'll say local prompt equals script dot parent dot trailer on. And then we'll say prompt dot trigger ended connect function. All right. And then what function do we want it to connect to? We want it to say, we'll say script dot parent. Let's see. We'll rename this to hookup trailer. To hookup trailer. Script dot parent dot hookup trailer dot enabled equals true. Oh man, these commercials. Okay, hookup trailer equals true. Script dot parent dot hookup trailer equals true. And then what we can do is we can say wait. I don't know. We can have it wait 5 seconds, and then we'll say prompt dot enabled equals false. All right, like that. Or we could have it a UI button that turns this prompt on and turns this prompt off, right? We can even say that. Hookup trailer to script to parent hookup trailer dot enabled equals true. So that will enable this script here. Oh, is that what I want to do? Yeah. Yes. So we'll turn the trailer on. And then it will, once it connects, it'll do that. And then we'll tell it to wait again. 5. So it'll wait a total of 10 seconds before you can pull away. Right? That's something that you'll want to adjust. Because it'll connect, it'll create the motor, and then we want it to wait. And then what it'll do is it'll make the script false, so it doesn't continue. Let's try it out, so it doesn't continue to. All right, let's try it out. So what we're trying to do is this. So we come over to the trailer, and we should be able to see the trailer on. Oh yeah, see, I'm coming into contact with it. See, it's saying key is not valid. Everything that's hitting the box. Okay, but where's my... Oh. Oh, when it hits, we should say script. No, we'll say prompt dot enabled equals true. All right, so when it hits that part and detects it, it'll make the prompt true. Is that what I want to do? No, I don't. I'm confusing myself here. Hold on, let me close all these. I'm just confusing myself for a minute. Okay, so we want the trailer on prompt to be enabled. And then when we press it, we don't need to because, right? So do you see what I'm trying to do here? So instead of saying script.parent.touched, now I can change it to prompt. So it has to be touching. Once it hits, it activates the prompt. I guess we don't need to do that. Once it connects, it'll just create the rod constraint, and then it'll wait 5 seconds, and then it'll disable. That's fine. So I guess we don't need the trailer on part. It can just do it automatically. But if we want to reactivate hookup trailer after it's been disabled, what we want to do is on the unhooked trailer, it'll destroy it, and then we want to say script.parent.hookuptrailer.enabled equals true. Okay, and now we can wait, like, let's have it wait 10 seconds, and then that way when you pull away, it should give the driver enough time. We could even say 30 seconds, and then that way it'll give the driver enough time to pull away from the trailer after it's been disconnected. So let's see if this is going to work. Trailer on. Oh, yes. Oh, that was for... I guess I did make a script for that prompt. All right, well, you see what I mean? There's so many different ways that you can go around that you can make it work. I'll leave that up to you, your creativity. Either you use the UI to activate the script, so when you back up, you just push a button on the truck, you back up, and then the button disappears. And then when you unhook the button, you know what I mean? Button appears, button disappears, maybe not. All right, let's try this out. Oh, what's going on now? Trailer base. Oh, because it's hitting this. All right, this is too tall. It's too tall. We just want it to come into contact with that. Otherwise, it's going to do this. Every time it hits an object, it's going to give us these errors, right? So we just want it to connect to there. I know this is where we have our... I don't think I need that, actually. Here, we'll just get rid of that. And then we'll make this taller. Like that. There we go. Try and make it so that way the only part it can come into contact with is that part. And that way you don't confuse yourself with all these errors while you're testing. Whoops. There you go. So it hooked up automatically when we pulled into the trailer. Now I should have the trailer off. The trailer off prompt. All right. It's not working out the way I wanted it to. What do we have going on here? Let's see here. Okay, so it did all that. It did all of that. So then how do we unhook trailer? So what we should do is we should say script dot parent dot trailer off dot enabled equals true, and then that'll activate the trailer off prompt, and then we should be able to unhook the trailer, and that should give us that. All right, let's do a full round of testing and see what we've got done here, and then we'll do a recap at the end of the video just so we can go over what we've done. All right, so we've hooked up the trailer. And we can say detach trailer. Which didn't work. So now what I want to do is I want to go into my truck and I want to see, where is it? Miscellaneous. Ooh, look at all the rod constraints it created. All right, so that's a problem. It's a problem because it does it every time it hits. So now we want to change this to the prompt. This is why we need the prompt, right? So let's duplicate this and let's rename this to trailer on. All right. And then we want to go local prompt PRMPT equals script dot parent dot trailer on. Then we want to say prompt dot trigger ended connect function. So that's what it's going to do. Then it's going to wait. It's going to disable the script. All right, let's see if that'll work. And then trailer on. should be automatically enabled. Trailer off is not enabled. That is not enabled. So the only one the only prompt we should see is the trailer on. Hopefully have line of sight on there. Let's see. We should be able to see it. On or off, detached trailer. Oh, detached trailer. Attached trailer. All right, let's see if that works. There we go. So attached trailer is on. So now what we need to do is make sure that we are All right. So we'll do this. Come around here. Attached trailer. It says key is not a valid member of players. Fuggies 22. Oh. If hit.name equals local key equals. Oh, is that because I came into contact with the block? It could be that I have come into contact with this. So I'll change the activation distance. Where are we here? I'll change that to 20. All right, so that's not going to work because it's trying to activate through the prompt. So it's easier if we do that. Script.parent.touch connect function. But every time it connects, so what I need to do is, let's see, maybe make this one a bit lower. Oh yeah. What I'll need to do, so what we want to do is we'll probably need to extend the legs of the trailer a little bit so the trailer itself is just a little bit taller. Because what it's doing every time it comes into contact with something, we only want it to hit this rod. That's the only part that we want to come into contact with this. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to detect. It's not going to be able to detect the part. So let's see here. I don't know how else to describe that. Right? If it comes into contact with me, with the player, or if it comes into contact with another part, it's trying to detect the function inside what we hit. So then, all right, that'll work. What else do I need to do here? We need script.parent.trailer off .enabled equals true. So we don't actually need this prompt anymore. I needed it. I thought I needed it, but I don't. All right. So once it comes into contact with that hitch, let's see before I say too much. Now that should be enough. Yeah, there we go. So it's been connected. And then if I come back here and we say detached trailer, it doesn't want to detach. Sure created a lot of them. All right, so what we need to do now is we need to tell it to wait while it's doing this. Like this here should go. It should be instantaneous. Script dot enabled equals false. Script dot parent dot trailer off dot enabled equals true. All right, so why won't it unhook the trailer? Make sure I spelled it right. It should just won't worry about that. Yeah, script dot parent dot rod constraint destroy. Should destroy the rod constraint. All right, so I apologize. This video is a little bit of a long one. Oh, there it worked. Yeah. All right, so just like that. Perfect. Perfect. So now all you need to do is rename the hitch here, rename this part to whatever the trailer is. And here, I'll tell you what, let's try it out. Okay, so, and then that'll be the end of this video. Fantastically fantastic. So we'll duplicate that, turn it here. Let's just say, it actually might not work with the lights. I'm not too sure. I should try the lights out. The lights are probably going to break. They won't break on this one because that's one model, but it'll probably break on this one. Here, let's just try it out here. Yeah, it's gonna break. It's gonna give me a bunch of errors. I'll show you why. They're not related to the hitch. They're related to the truck. And that's because the way I have it set up right now. Oh, it's the trailer. The trailer is anchored. Uh-oh. That could pose a problem. That could pose a problem. Uh-oh. All right, well, let's see if everything should be welded. Knock on wood. Everything should be welded. That's this trailer here, right? Everything should be welded, I hope. Yeah. Or have constraints. Perfect. Right, so with a chassis, when you have your whole model together, it'll actually go through the model and it'll create all the welds that you need if you missed any in your model. And then it'll unanchor your model for you so you can drive it around. But when you're not using a chassis, you physically have to. Oh, you physically have to put in the welds. And if you don't, anything that isn't welded down is just going to fall off your trailer. Oh, that's good to know that these were welded. That's probably. I haven't got any errors. All right, everything else should be welded. We're going to find out here in a minute. Where are we here? Anchored? We'll do that. Now let's see if anything falls off it. Doesn't look like it. Right? See how this one is suspended in midair? This one is also suspended in midair, which means I missed a part on it. Oh, the neon lights, they're all welded as well. Oh no, that's still in the air. What did I miss? Here, we're gonna delete that trailer for a minute here. So I'm just going through and I'm just making sure that all the models are open. Oh, there that is. Decline you. Decline. Oh, did I not? Oh, those are part of the truck. Oh, I thought those were part of the trailer. I guess not. I learn something new every day. All right. Oh yeah, I can see they're not there. Okay, well, that was my mistake. All right, so we'll put this trailer here. It's not attached to the truck, so it's going to give me errors on the lights when I get in the truck and I try and use like the left light. It's going to say left. Is this still anchored? It is. I missed something. Oh, man, oh, man. I wish there was a way you could just click on the trailer itself and just be like anchor all, unanchor all, but there isn't. Unfortunately, I have to go through every single. Yeah, this shouldn't matter. should be nothing in the trailer that's anchored. Or welded. Nothing's welded to the... No, there's something in there that's I missed that's still anchored. Yeah, I want to make sure this works. So that's what I'm trying to do, is make sure that it's like none of this should be anchored. So I don't know why the trailer is not moving. Let's drive into it with a truck, maybe. Oh, none of these proximity prompts are going to work either. Yeah, no, it's because they're all... All right, so this is going to cause me big problems. So what I've done is I've connected the UI of the truck to the trailer. So when you unlock the truck, it unlocks all these parts, but it's not going to be able to find any of these parts. So it's going to take me a few minutes to, I'm going to upload a part 2. So let's recap what we did on this one. This will work. It'll work as is. I just have to go through the trailer here and figure it out. There's a part on the trailer that is anchored that I have to find unanchor it, and then we can do the full test. So what we did was we created a script which allows us, when these two parts connect, we said instance.new rod constraint. It's going to create a rod constraint. We named the constraint the length. We named both of the attachments for the constraint. All right? That's what you got to do. Now, you can use this for anything. If you want to put a motor in something and turn it into an arm, you just have to say instance.new, and it can be a motor constraint, whatever that is, right? Cylinder constraint. Just have to define the variables of whatever it is. Okay? Then we added another proximity prompt, which allowed us to unhook the trailer, and we added code for that. And then what we need to do now is just figure out the timing of it, right? Every player has their own timing, so we want to make sure that we're adequate. Some players are slower than others, some players are faster. So we want to make sure that our timing is correct so we don't get errors with the timing. All right? And that's it. It really is that simple. One script for connecting the trailer on hit, one script for taking the trailer off. Now, in the next video, I'll fire everything through the UI, so that way we have a button on the truck, and the button will appear when we're ready to connect the trailer, and the button will disappear when we're ready to disconnect the trailer. So thanks for watching, thanks for liking, and we will see you in the next one.